Ladies and gentlemen, yes, this is your favorite show, Sports Unfolded, with your favorite hosts, Eric and Ron.
Hey, welcome to the best sports talk show anywhere. This is Sports Unfolded. I am your host, Eric, with my main man, Ron, over there. How are you tonight?
I'm doing quite well. This should be a barn burner.
This is a doozy, man. A lot going on in the sports world, from the NBA to the NFL, NHL. I mean, there's a ton of big stories out there. We are a weekly sports podcast covering all of the top sports stories going on in the world today. Again, this is fan interactive, so we do ask if you are live, let us know. My man James, every week, religiously, you are the man. What a week in sports. Yes. Can't wait to discuss all these great topics. If you have something out there that you'd love to talk about as well, let us know, and we will definitely make sure we talk about it as well. But we normally start off with our lead-off story, and that's going to be a big one, man. We didn't see this one coming. And that's one Damian Lillard going to the Bucks. So hence the title, season 3, episode 39. What the buck is going on here, Ron? So we know this is a massive deal, right? We saw this coming, Dame Lillard being traded at some point. But who made out in this deal? What do you think of the 3 teams that were involved? Portland, Phoenix, and also Milwaukee.
You know, when you first hear the deal, I actually thought Phoenix made out in the deal. But then I was thinking, it's like, you know what? I'm not so sure, because I mean, yeah, you got Nurkic to replace basically Ayton.
Yeah.
You know, but you also got Grayson Allen, right? I mean, that's a pretty good pickup there. And they got Nasir Little.
Yeah.
And so
Ian Johnson,
the key pieces was Nurkic and Allen, right?
Yes.
And you know, Milwaukee got Lillard back, but the key piece in all of this is really Drew Holiday. I mean, it's really that when it comes down to it, because first of all, I don't think Milwaukee won out on this deal, because I think they gave up too much, to be honest with you. I mean, for a guy, how much of an upgrade is he to Holiday? Is he even an upgrade?
I think he's a better shooter, and I will definitely say that. I think the issue becomes this. I think Phoenix made out better, because I think they needed depth. You add that now with Beal, Durant, Booker. They needed pieces around them, and not expensive pieces. I looked at it this way: the Blazers, I think they're gonna still trade Holiday.
And that's why I feel they got the better deal out of this, because not only did they get a bunch of picks, but now they're going to turn over Holiday, and they're going to get more picks.
Yeah, how you
probably another package
materialize. We liked Ayton. We've liked Ayton for a long time. Yeah. I know they think he's right. I mean, 18-10 last season with Phoenix. I take that any given day, man. Right. You get me a big man that can get you 18-10. I look at it this way: Milwaukee, to me, lost in this deal.
Yeah,
this is the big all-in spend, and then realizing that you got a guy that's probably not going to play an entire season.
Right.
You got Giannis, who's coming off knee surgery, who didn't play a full season last season. And you're counting on, we've seen this before in the NBA. I don't know. This has happened a few times now.
Middleton.
Right. But yeah, Middleton's been injured. But think about it. We saw when we thought Harden, Durant, Kyrie, we're like, this is going to be amazing. They played like 12 games. And now you're going to see I think you're going to see similar things with Milwaukee. It's going to be that, well, I want to see them on the court together. Will they be on the court together?
Yeah, and we say it about the same people every year, right? And every year they prove us right. You know, I mean, he's not going to play a full season. It's just like, we know this. Can you get 40 games out of him? That is the question. You know, is he going to be able to play 40 games for Milwaukee?
That's
And is that going to be enough?
so. I will ask you this question, Ron. Think about this part of it. Very unmotivated in Portland, right? They were never playing for playoffs. They were kind of out of it all the time. Maybe those injuries weren't as bad as we think they were, and it's more of, hey, look, it really didn't matter. And now that he may be in meaningful games and possibly contending for a title, he pushes through and plays more.
Yeah, and I think if that's the case, I think basically he should be ashamed of himself.
Kenny, thank you for joining in. Kenny thinks he played more than 40. I'm on that fence, man. I'm thinking 50, 60 games. I agree with you. I think you start to look at it, and if you could get 60 plus games, but remember they're changing that rule now too with the
Right.
so again, you're not going to be able to just sit and rest and take that. Kenny's all over you already this afternoon, this evening.
Right. Well, you know, I mean, he can be if he wants to, but
I think you got to look at it.
Look, he's going to prove me right. You know, look, if he plays more than 40 games, I'm going to be shocked. If he plays more than 55 games, I will be stunned.
And I will say that, Kenny, I think you got to stop looking at the car, and it's nice and shiny, but it's got a you know what I mean, a 4-cylinder.
Right.
Like that's what happens in the NBA.
Like when
all
they
these
made those
shiny
Mustangs,
cars.
4 cylinders, right?
Don't even. But you start to look at it and you sit back and you say, okay, I've seen this happening now, though. All these guys, you know, getting together. We're going to talk about it later in this show. Kawhi Leonard and a Paul George.
Yeah.
Right? We were like, this is going to be a great combination. Hasn't worked because they can't stay on the court. You saw it with the Brooklyn Nets. You know what I mean? You're seeing it over and over again, and yet here we go again now. Shiny bright object, and we're all excited. We're like, oh my god, this is going to be great. And then you realize the two guys that are the key in this whole thing haven't been healthy.
Yeah.
So I think to me, Phoenix made out. Phoenix clearly got some depth that they needed. They got pieces around their big three because again, the object is that look, these guys aren't going to play every game.
Right.
Now you've got guys that can plug and play a little bit and have some depth.
Yeah, because
in Phoenix,
when you have guys like Durant and Booker and oh my god, the brain just went.
Beal.
Bradley Beal. You know, there's your three, right? And then you throw in Nurkic and Allen. So okay, so you're losing Ayton, but you're basically replacing him a guy that's going to get those boards, and then you're replacing him with a guy that can shoot, and Grayson Allen. And I think that makes the team deeper. And when you're coming off the bench, and I'm guessing they're going to have Grayson Allen come off the bench, you know, and that's going to be pretty good. That's going to be a guy that you can plug in there, and he's going to get you, you know, what, 15 to 20?
Yeah,
you know, off the bench
last season, but I think he's going to get more time. I would think in Phoenix.
Yeah, I would think so.
So I mean, I don't know, Kenny. I mean, you like the bright shiny object, and I get where you're coming from because on paper, if you just read the names, you're going, oh my god,
this is what we did with Brooklyn.
Yeah, and I'm not falling for it again. You're not pulling the rug over my eyes again. The wool is it a wool over my eyes?
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not letting you do it again. Like I'm not getting all excited about this until I see these guys 60 plus games, you know, through the season. And you go, okay, now that makes sense.
Because the interesting part of it all, and this is why I think Portland actually won the whole thing. First of all, they give up a guy that's only going to play half the year. And you're getting guys that you can plug in and give you full time and get those 18 points with the boards. I mean, and now you're going to take Drew Holiday and you're going to flip him and you're going to get a big package for him as well.
Yeah.
So to me, I think Portland ultimately wins this battle on this trade, and Phoenix gets, you know, the runner up on it. And then I I think
which is crazy to think about.
It's a disaster waiting.
If you sat back and you told me that Damian Lillard's going to Milwaukee and they'd be the third best team in that trade deal, I think you're absolutely insane. But that's what happened. That is what happened. And anybody who thinks differently, you explain to me why, because I agree with Ron. They are the third best team in this deal, as crazy as it sounds.
Yeah.
Whew. All right. What a start already. 10 minutes in. The heat, I can feel it. It's boiling, that water. I'm so excited to continue with this show tonight, man, because this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one. All right, let's talk some NFL or somewhat NFL. And this is an interesting story, Ron. And I thought that, let's talk about it a little bit. This XFL, USFL merger that is being created. Do you think there's room for spring football in the United States?
I do. The problem is the way they're trying to go about it is kind of wrong. Look, the NFL just dominates 24/7, 7 days a week, 52 weeks in a year, right? You cannot go up against the NFL and expect to win at any point in the season, because look, the NFL has scheduled everything perfectly. They are the talk of the town every week, no matter what, and that includes, even with this blockbuster trade, you still go on all the sports networks and they're all talking about the NFL.
Yeah.
It's all the NFL. So what you have to do, you have to jump in with the NFL and you have to actually make it a minor league. You have to designate it,
but that's the weird
as
thing,
the minor leagues.
XFL did that. They kind of, like, the NFL was helping the XFL, and I still think it just doesn't work. I think they just want to be a primetime B league. But the questions become this, though. 8 teams, both leagues. Do they go to a 16-team league? Who owns this thing now? Because technically Fox Corp owns the USFL. We know The Rock and his ex-wife own the XFL. Who gets rights to TV? To think there's going to be so much going on, whereas the NFL just says, look, who wants to bid on us? CBS gives you a little bit, NBC gives you a little bit, ESPN gives you a little bit. You've got a Fox who actually already has some NFL, and I don't know how this works. I just can't see it working.
Look, it's not going to. First of all, the USFL has been around for a long time.
Both of these leagues failed a few times.
Right. So the problem is the XFL is still tainted from its first go around.
He hurt me.
Yeah. You
never forget it.
And that's the thing. You'll never forget that it was a joke. So when they came in and took the XFL and tried to really establish it as a league, a legitimate league, rather than a World Wrestling Federation, league.
Yeah.
It doesn't work now because that's what people think of. They think of He Hate Me.
And I look at the USFL, Ron, I think college. I don't know why. I don't feel like it's a professional league, and I don't know what they can do. And I think they tried we go through 18 weeks of the NFL season. You go through the playoffs. And at that point, you're kind of burnt out with football. Not in a way of, hey, I don't want to watch football, but I want to watch pro football. I don't want to watch college. I don't want to watch a semi-B league, like James said.
Yeah.
I want to watch real football, and I don't feel like that's what I get. So they try right after the Super Bowl, and you go, I'm already, I just watched some great football for the last, 5 months. I'm not watching a B level. Why? Why am I just watched the greatest game technically of the year in the Super Bowl.
Right.
And now you want to give me hey, well, here's the scraps. I'm prime rib to
yeah, and that's just it. And This is why I feel that it's got to be a minor league system. It's got to be because at least if you know that these guys are trying to get into the NFL, and they all are, but they're not part of the NFL technically.
I'd
right?
rather them do an old timers league. Like, give me a Brett Favre just coming back and just at least guys you'd be interested in watching again to see if they actually could still do it.
Yeah, see, I don't want to do that either.
I don't know. I don't. None of these names. Do you know any of the guys that made it from the XFL or USFL that are playing right now in the NFL?
I think there's a few guys.
There's a couple guys, but can you name them?
No.
Because then that's what I'm saying. There's no interest in these players, and
Right.
I'm not saying. Listen, I commend them. It's great. You're still playing pro ball and you're getting. But I mean, there's no names to this thing.
Yeah.
There's no intrigue. Usually, quarterbacks at least. And I'm like, half the time I turn this thing on, I'm like, I don't even know who this kid was.
Yeah.
No idea. Yeah, it's got to, I don't know. I just think they're trying too hard. Now you're going to merge it, and I guarantee they'll be fighting about money at some point, and it'll just defunct.
The only thing that they can do is go out and actually get NFL players to play in this league. That is really the only chance.
James, no. Okay, I mean, that's a big name. Yeah. I'm watching now. Like, I don't. To your point, listen. If I told you Michael Vick was playing in the USFL, you might watch.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
For the season. But the problem is now the NFL is not doing that because they want to pluck these guys and bring them right, and you can't do it if they play in the summer, because then once training camps start, these guys legitimately can't be pulled.
This is why I say it should be a minor league system. Let's get some of these guys that come out of college. Look, you're talking about how many rounds in the draft, right?
7? Yeah.
Right. So you're talking, 200 and something players. How many are really going to make the teams? And all of those guys say 100 players make the teams. Well, that's 100 players that just lost a job. Those players need to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So why not, instead of, cutting all these players, why not develop a minor league team? And then you do it that way.
I am disgusted with you right now, because that is one of the best commercials right now, that Frito commercial with Dan Marino, Jerry Rice, Emmitt Smith, and they're like, oh, we should probably come back. That is a great commercial. Why would you not want an old-timers league? I'd love to see those guys back on the field. That was great. And then Dan Marino putting the reading glasses on to look at the plays on his wrist.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Come on. And then Tom and Jules at the end. Oh, my goodness.
Well, Tom can actually still play, actually.
Tom could still play, probably. So could Jules, probably, if he really wanted to. All right, my friend, let's talk a little bit more about the actual NFL. And a story that's getting really crazy is this New York Jets Zach Wilson thing. Should the Jets just finally move on from Zach Wilson?
Yeah. He's terrible.
But I thought about this. No, listen, though. What do you do now at this point? What do you do?
Well, they can't do really anything now.
Exactly. So if you're the Jets and the guy, they just brought in Trevor Siemian. Does that scare you? I don't understand. He's horrible, but listen, at this point, you're almost better off letting this kid play, getting 4 wins, and then getting a top draft pick. And then get Aaron Rodgers. Huh?
Then drafting Sanders.
Maybe Sanders, who sits behind Aaron Rodgers for a couple of years. That's to me, I think they have to stick with the kid now. They've lost motivation, even the defense. Yeah, the defense is. And I went to look, they're in the bottom end of the barrel when it comes to defense. I would say this, is Zach Wilson horrible? Or think about this. Nathaniel Hackett has been absolute garbage the last 2 years. That offense is ranked 32nd overall, 32nd in passing, and 32nd in points. Ron, there's no 30-13.
Yeah, I know.
So they're dead last. When he was with Denver as their head coach, they were one of the worst offenses in the league. I think it's the coordinator. And I'm not saying Zach Wilson is much better, but I don't think it's
Well, he's
helping the
not.
kid at all. It's not helping him. The
Like
guy's
he
a
just
hack.
makes poor
Hack kid.
decisions. Like I watched a game the other day, and let me tell you, he was awful. He was awful.
He is.
He
He's a
does
bad
not
quarterback.
know what to do. He doesn't know what to do.
But
Like
who's
he
supposed
can't
to
read
teach
any
this kid?
plays.
Nathaniel Hackett? He had Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson looked even worse.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't think listen, the kid looks even worse because of the offensive coordinator.
Well, yeah, but he's not any better than what he was last year either.
No, he is. He's 0-2 this season.
Look, we had talked about this, right? During the preview show, which you still should go watch it.
Absolutely.
During the preview show, we talked about the Jets, and we talked about if something can go wrong, it will, because it's the Jets, right? This is what they do. They bring in Aaron Rodgers, and what do? They bring in Hackett because he's Aaron's guy, and he's awful.
He's
right?
only good with one player, and that's
Right.
Aaron Rodgers. You take
Right,
Aaron Rodgers
because
out of the
it's
fold.
Aaron Rodgers, and he's going to make everything better. It's the same thing. If he had Tom Brady, he'd be successful because Tom Brady changes plays up at the line just like Aaron Rodgers does, right? He's seen enough. He knows how to read plays. Well, when you put that same coach with a crap quarterback who can't read the defense at all and just throws it willy-nilly, and it's near misses every single time.
Bro, he's not even throwing it, though. He took a sack last week. It was like an imaginary guy. He just dropped to the ground.
Right.
I'm not saying the kid's good. But at this point, if I'm a Jets fan, the best possible scenario is shut your mouth, let this kid play it out, go 4-13, and be in the top 5 in the NFL draft.
Yeah, no, that's...
Here we go with James. James is just trying to get us fired up. And it's not going to work tonight, James. I'm going to tell you right now.
Well, I'm already fired up, so.
That was a joke. Good. I'm glad, because I'm going to say Tom Brady wouldn't be anything without Bill Belichick's tutelage either. Because if Nathaniel Hackett was Tom Brady's original coach, I want to say how good Tom Brady, we would never even heard of Tom Brady. Because that guy, exactly. Absolute joke. 32nd overall in offense, 32nd in passing, 32nd in points. Zach Wilson's the biggest problem. You still have one of the best running backs. You picked up Dalvin Cook. You tell me, run the ball. Run the ball. Nope. They don't run the ball. I don't get it. So how are you blaming Zach Wilson sometimes when the offensive coordinator is not even calling the proper plays for the team to actually be successful? Put the best players in positions to win. Nope. Anyway. Bill Belichick. You always got to bring up a Bill Belichick, James. I don't get it. Ron, what's your games of interest this week? What are we looking at? What are we watching? What are we turning on this Sunday and Monday?
Had
the Thursday night game. Detroit looking. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the hype's real. Detroit 3-1 now.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started on Detroit.
They're real.
Do you know what they're saying? They're saying that they're the third best team in the NFC. The third best team. Third. Mind you, the NFC still has Philadelphia, Dallas, and San Francisco. But they're the third best team.
Well, after this week, Dallas will probably be in the bottom end. And then, now Detroit moves up. Look at it that way.
Give me a break. Let's pump the brakes on them being the third best team.
I thought you were all hyped up on it. Oh, that's Kenny. Kenny's the Detroit Lions guy.
I'm like, and then they said, and
James wants to watch.
Goff is in the top 10 quarterbacks of the league. Top 10 quarterbacks. Goff. They're out of their mind. They're just so stupid on these 4-letter word networks.
They already said Dan Campbell's going to be the coach of the year. That was the biggest bet in Vegas going. So it's coming to fruition. Haha, I got jokes, James. I got it all day, baby. All night long. All right. So James definitely wants to see the boys' Pats. I wonder why.
Must be souped.
James, I think this should be
nothing on that one. Nothing on that one.
What'd you say?
Campbell must be souped.
Oh boy, you got all day today. Listen, I got an idea. I've got an idea. This is something we've never done on Sports Unfolded. First of all, hope you guys like the new look. I think it's amazing. I mean, I love the new look for Sports Unfolded here. But I will say this. Why don't we do something even crazier? James is a Cowboys fan. What if the Pats beat the Cowboys? Should we have James come on Sports Unfolded next week and explain to us how the Cowboys lost to the New England Patriots? Do you want to do that, James? Do you think you could do that? We can make that happen. Yeah, I dig the look. Thank you, brother. We appreciate that. All right, let's see, James. Ball's in your court, my friend. You tell me. So he's got boys, the Pats, Cowboys. Who do you got, Ron? What are you games?
Yeah, I have that game, of course, because it is a game of interest.
I don't even have it. Nope.
Nope. It's just an interest because we are desperate for a win. Yep. But I do have to say, my predictions for the Patriots right now are right on par. I said they would be 1-3 after 4 games, and their only win would have been the Jets. So I just want to say, and I have them making the playoffs.
Explain to me how well the boys are when we beat the Pats. I gotta be here. I have to be here, man. So I'll absolutely do it. Okay. Yeah. All right. I think that sounds like a challenge. What is going on over there? You all right, buddy?
The mouse pad doesn't want to work, and I left my mouse out there, so I'm using those stupid finger touch things.
Get some cheese, bro. Cheese. They like cheese. Peanut butter.
No, but like one of the games that I like are the Ravens and the Browns.
I have the Ravens Browns, right? This is for the AFC North right now. And the Browns, believe it or not, check out Sports Unfolded top 10 NFL teams each week. I will say this: they're in the top 10, number 1 defense in the league. Myles Garrett is just. We talk about Micah Parsons. Myles Garrett's right up there. Like this guy is a force. They got the number 1 defense.
You know, he heard that we said that Micah Parsons was the best defensive player.
Save your predictions for after, at the end of the show, there, James. But I don't know. We'll see. Go ahead, Ron.
Yeah. So Garrett, Myles Garrett said he's not the best, and he was directly telling us that we're wrong.
Yeah.
Directly telling us.
Yeah. So I had the Ravens at the Browns. I like that. Again, AFC North. The obvious one, Dolphins at Bills.
Yep. That is the big one, right?
That's the main one. So we can kind of, listen, AFC is Miami for real. 70 points last week. The hype, everybody, right? Again, was that more poor defense?
Right. And that's what I was saying.
Buffalo
about
plays them tough.
Who has Detroit played?
Listen, I'm not. They beat the Chiefs. They beat the Chiefs.
Week 1. That always happens in week 1. Somebody always gets coupled.
You know what? All right, James. All right. Just keep going. All right. I also had, Ron, and this one I had for a different reason. I got a couple of these, actually, but the Broncos at the Bears.
Oh, come on.
And I'm going to tell you why, though. Listen, I love chaos. If the Broncos get destroyed, which they just lost 70-20, what happens there? If the Bears, who now with Justin Field, who you claimed was the greatest draft pick coming out of that class.
No, I didn't say he was the greatest draft pick coming out of the draft.
I will say this. Listen, that team's about to implode. There's going to be one of these teams 0-4.
Right.
It's just going to get.
They're essentially eliminated.
It's going to be so bad for both of these teams.
Yeah.
So it's like
they're not the only ones, though. That Minnesota game too.
You know what it is? It's that you drive by the car accident, they tell you not to look, and you want to see. That's what that game is. It's like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, which one?
That's a train wreck. That's not even a car wreck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
what else you got?
I got Cincinnati at Tennessee.
Really? I don't have that game. Okay.
Because they're both 1-2.
Yeah.
And basically, you lose that game, you're pretty much done.
Especially the Bengals. Listen, we both have the Bengals winning the Super Bowl. Our pick in our NFL preview show not looking so hot right now.
They'll be
Not looking so
okay.
hot.
They're going to win this game, and I fear for Vrabel.
Okay. Yeah.
That poor guy does not have a quarterback,
Yeah.
and he's probably going to get canned.
Yeah. I got I also Bucks at Saints.
Yeah.
NFC South is which team will start
Yeah.
to listen. Injury to Carr already for the Saints. Bucks, right, came back down to earth last week. Let's see. Again, is one of these teams, because again, we looked at last year, 7-9 won the division.
You're going to see that again.
You win 9-10 games now, you might have a shot. And these teams were 2-1. They're both 2-1. I had one more. Do you got any more?
Raiders and Chargers.
Yeah, interesting game, right? 1-2, both of them.
Because again, you're 1-2. You fall to 1-3, especially in the AFC.
Yeah,
you got problems.
Yeah, you know who's got problems? Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones got some problems right now. Whew. Man, that man. Hey, get help. Hopefully, please. My last one, man. I told you I like those train wrecks. Those car. I went Vikings at Panthers.
That's what I was saying. That was another one.
0-3, both of them.
0-3.
Who's going 0-4? The Vikings that people are talking about trading guys. Justin Jefferson, like weird, just crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kirk Cousins, like if Minnesota loses that one to a team they should beat.
If Minnesota loses, Jefferson's out the door.
Like that. Insane to think about. Just craziness. I told you, train wrecks, bro. I love them. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I love them. You got any more before we move on? You got any more before we move on? Week 4 games of interest?
Nope, that's it.
All right, my friend. We are done with the NFL. We are moving on to our starting 5. This week, starting 5. Our starting 5.
This is going to be
NHL goaltenders that we would want as our 5 goaltenders if we were starting a team. Ron, you're first this week. You're the hockey guy anyway, so I know you were loving this, but your honorable mentions.
I was not loving this.
Ah.
Because this was much more difficult than what I thought it was.
Right.
All right. Just for the record.
When
I put my 5 right on the paper right away.
Okay.
And I went Patrick Roy, Martin Brodeur, Ken Dryden, Terry Sawchuk, and Jacques Plante. That's what I put.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, that's probably going to be my list. And then honorable mentions would have been like Hasek, Hall, and a bunch of others, right? Okay. So my honorable mentions, and I can't even believe I'm saying it, Patrick Roy. Honorable mention, Patrick Roy.
Okay.
That pains me to say it because I think I've always thought he was the best goaltender.
Okay. All right.
I also have Glenn Hall, George Vezina.
Oh, so the trophy's actually okay.
Yep.
I like it.
Jack Bauer and Turk Broda. Those are my honorable mentions.
Okay. All right. I had Tony Esposito, Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yep.
And Ed Belfour.
Yeah.
As my honorable mentions.
Respectable. They're all respectable goaltenders.
Listen, Marc-Andre Fleury right now is still playing.
He didn't even put in there, I'm sure.
Fleury's still playing. 544 wins. You sit back and go, wow, like honorable mention. But okay, let's see where you're at. Number 5. I can't wait to hear this.
I can't either. It hurts.
I think it should.
My list hurts.
It should.
Dominic Hasek.
Okay. All right.
So I have Hasek at number 5. So I have them all ranked out in different categories. He was 6th in games played, 6th in wins out of all the players that I did. I didn't go with all kinds of other players.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So 389 wins he had. He had 81 shutouts, which ranked 5th, sorry. A 922 save percentage, which was the best.
Yeah, I agree. That was pretty high up on,
Right. And a 2.2 goals against average was number one.
Mhm.
He has 2 Stanley Cups, 3 Jennings, 6 Vezina, 6 All Stars. I mean, he's a great goaltender.
Yeah.
Great goaltender.
Yeah. And that's why I applauded your pick at 5 because that was my pick at 5. Dominic Hasek, 389 wins. You said the 81 shutouts, goals against 2.20, 922 save percentage, ridiculous. 6 Vezinas in the 2 cups. I went with Hasek at 5 as well.
Yeah, very good.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you got
All
at
right.
4?
Number 4, I have Ken Dryden, who I thought was going to be number 3 for me.
Okay.
And his numbers are absolutely ridiculous. Okay. The knock on him was longevity. It was longevity. He was 9th out of the 10 players that I put up there as contenders. He was 9th in games played, 8th in wins with 258, but the man only had 57 losses. And he is the only guy on my list that actually had more ties than losses,
Okay.
which is incredible. And the way I did my goaltenders, it just worked out that it just didn't have enough to get up there to the top.
Okay.
He was 8th in shutouts with 46, 922 save percentage was the best, 2.24 goals against average, which was second best. He had 6 Stanley Cups, which is insane. And I really thought I was going to have him higher, but I went right by the numbers across the board. He was second. He had one Conn Smythe for playoff MVP, 5 Vezinas, 6 All Stars, and of course he won a Rookie of the Year. So it still wasn't enough. Still wasn't enough.
Yeah.
So I had a number 4.
Okay. I went at number 4, Martin Brodeur. 691 wins, ridiculous. 125 shutouts, a 2.24 goals against, 912 save percentage, 3 cups, 4 Vezina. Again, I remember this guy, man, just devastating. It was a brick wall, and I loved Martin Brodeur. I thought he was such a good goal. 691 wins, pretty damn impressive.
Yeah. Number 3, I have Terry Sawchuk.
Okay.
Going back a little ways.
Yeah.
Look, his numbers were just incredible, as all of these guys are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like my top 10, I probably top 15, I would take any day of the week.
You want to do a starting 15?
Even now. All right, so Terry Sawchuk, he was 3rd in games played, 971, 445 career wins, which was 3rd overall out of my guys. 103 shutouts, which was 2nd. A 907 save percentage, which was 8th out of all these guys. 2.50 goals against average, but 7 All-Stars, 4 Vezinas, 4 Stanley Cups. I mean, this guy was just great all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, agreed. At 3, I had Patrick Roy. 551 wins, 66 shutouts, a 910 save percentage, 4 cups, 3 Vezinas. I judged my guys more on the Vezinas because if that is considered the best goaltender and you win a lot of those, to me, it means you're one of the better goaltenders. So
it was 6th out of all of my guys in Vezina.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was 7th in save percentage out of all the guys that I did, and he was 8th in goals against average out of all the guys.
Yeah, I could see it.
And that hurt him on my rankings. And I looked at that and I was like, ooh, I didn't realize that until I really looked at all the numbers for the goaltenders.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. So who do you got at 2?
Number 2, I have Jacques Plante.
Okay.
So again, going back a ways.
Can't wait to see this number 1.
837, Games played, 437 wins, which was fourth. 82 shutouts, which was fourth on my list. 920 save percentage, which was fourth on the list. 2.38, which was fourth on the list. So he was like in between everybody and everything, it seemed. But 7 Vezina trophies, which was the best out of all the guys that I had. 7 All-Stars, which was second. 6 Stanley Cups. This guy was just amazing. And I believe he is the first guy to wear a goaltending mask.
Yes, I believe it was. Yes, after he got a devastating injury.
Yeah.
Half his face was gone. I went at 2 Terry Sawchuk.
Yeah.
And again, all those reasons you said, 103 shutouts, 4 cups, 4 Vezinas, 445 wins. Again, I Vezinas rated real high for me. They weighted more. And I kind of, that's why, again, ahead of Rural, because who had 3, and then Brodeur and Hasek, they were about even. Go ahead. At number 1, Ron, who's this one guy?
Number 1, I have Martin Brodeur.
Okay, you went that route. Okay.
I didn't think he was going to be number 1. I thought he was going to be number 2. He did have the most games played. Over 1,200 of them. So there was definitely longevity, and 691 wins is the all-time best. He also was number 1 in shutouts with 125.
It's crazy.
So that weighs a lot when you have 3 spots that are number 1. And he was second in goals against average with 2.24. So, and then a 912 save percentage, which was 6th. But again, 7 All-Stars. He had 4 Vezinas. He had 5 Jennings Trophy, which was for goals against average, I believe. And 3 Stanley Cups. So, I mean, in this day and age, it's harder to win a Stanley Cup than what it was back in the day because there was only a few teams. So that made a difference when he has 3. And somebody like Jacques Plante with 6, I kind of feel that's kind of even.
Okay. All right. I see where you went. I listen, we kind of had most of the same guys, just different orders.
Just where you have them.
Yeah, I had number 1 Jacques Plante.
Yeah.
And again, again, not as many wins. He took 437, 82, 920 save percentage, 6 Stanley Cups, 7 Vezinas. And 7, man, I was just like, wow, like 7 times they said you were the best
goaltender in the league 7 times. You know?
Yeah, like to me that I'd want that guy. I'd want that guy in between the pipes for me.
Yeah,
but no, great list, man, great list. Any suggestions for next week? Starting 5, what next week? What the buck?
Yeah, I don't know.
You got something? A name, a position. What do we want to do?
What about a team? What about a team? And I'm not talking about one.
You know what? I got a good one.
Not a Lakers, not a.
I got a good one. Do you want to go with top 5 sports team names? Who would be your favorite teams? Like with the name? No, you don't want to do that. Okay, I don't know. I'm throwing it out there.
Knowing you'll probably put Canucks on there or something.
Like a good Canuck. Oh, okay. See, James likes it. I guarantee you, your top 5, you'd have Commanders.
No.
I'm telling.
All right. We'll do the top 5 sports team names.
Right, it's different. All right, team names. Okay. Our favorite team names.
Team names. Great.
All right.
The Calgary Stampede.
Oh, can't go wrong there.
That's actually really good.
The Renegades in the XFL.
Oh,
right.
No. Number 1 would be the Italian Stallions.
The Stallions, baby. See, that's what I'm saying. Right? We got some things going now. We got it growing.
All right, that's a good one.
All right, let's talk some NBA, my friend. And I'm automatic. I'm going to put these 2 guys up. I'm going to tell you this is probably as long as you'll see them on the court together. As fast as he puts them up, we'll take them down. But Kawhi Leonard, Paul George are both healthy going into this training camp. That's what
Sure they
we're
are.
hearing. Should
Sure they are.
Clipper fans be optimistic?
No.
I want the guy who actually leaked this or said it fired. I want him fired. So whoever, if it's the Clippers
Look.
coach, the owners,
Even they're dumbfounded. They're like,
yeah,
really?
like Paul
We're
George.
healthy?
Somebody said it. Like what? What? I just don't understand. So since 2016, Ron, Kawhi Leonard played 74 games, 2016. You ready?
Wait, what?
In 2016. So you're talking 7 years ago.
7 years?
So since then, 9 games.
So he's averaging like 10 and a half games played a year.
No. He played 74 games in 2016.
I
Since
then.
Since then, he's had a season where 9 games, 60 games, 57 games, 52 games, didn't play the season, and then 52 games. So Paul George,
Averaging about 40.
since joining the Clippers, since just joining the Clippers, 48, 54, 31, 56.
So he's not even averaging 50 a game.
Who cares that these guys are healthy during training camp? Who decided this is the story we want coming out of LA right now is these two guys are healthy at the start of training camp? Because that is the most asinine thing you could possibly say when these guys miss 30, 40, 50 games a season. Who cares what they... I don't understand this. I don't get it. Why did anybody feel the need to even say it?
So we should expect them to be on the court together maybe 15, 20 times.
Exactly. So who cares? Oh, but they were healthy at... Is that what we're going to go with? They were healthy at training camp, Ron.
Wait, I cannot wait. I cannot wait till after the first preseason game.
They're not going to play. They're probably not going to play till game 1.
I'm not saying they're going to play in the preseason game.
And one of them will be out by then.
One of them is going to trip over something and get hurt.
The NBA is the biggest mirage. They are the best magic show. You put the hat on and then you flip it over and there's a rabbit comes out and you get all excited.
This is what's going to happen. Paul George is going to trip over Chris Sale's bike.
Oh boy. But I'm just like, listen, you got the magic act going. Saw me in half. I see the feet dangling on one box, and I'm like, oh my, they cut somebody in half. That's the NBA because they continuously do that. Our leadoff story, we're all excited and hyped up about a guy that's missed 40 games a year now. We're all excited now that Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are healthy for training camp, so everybody gets hyped up. It's a joke.
And then game one will be out.
That's it. It's a joke. Stop putting these stories out there to make people feel like this is they're going to be good this year.
Because they want to sell tickets. That's what they do.
Yeah, exactly. So you stop hitting up the box. Although, did you hear the ridiculousness going on with the New York Jets now? And the amount of money? Because the Kansas City Chiefs are playing the Jets, and Taylor Swift will be in the stadium. So their ticket sales have gone up ridiculous amounts. This world is just tapped. Because Taylor Swift's going to the game. Now everybody wants to go to the game. Like, you're going to get to spend time with Taylor Swift in her box. But anyway.
It's a family show.
Okay. Keep it that way, buddy. Yeah, all right, my friend. That's our NBA segment. That is longer than you will have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George playing together next season. We spent that much time on it. All right, let's talk some Major League Baseball, Ron. Ronald Acuna Jr.
Is this player not a great player or what?
In history, 40-70 club, my friend.
Right.
Is this a big deal?
He's the only guy, right?
Only guy to do 40-70.
Yeah, it is a big deal. But you got to wonder, would he have done that if they didn't change the rules?
Look at the size of the bag he's holding up. That's what I'm saying, man. How do you count this as a legitimate big deal? The bag's bigger than half his body.
Yeah.
Come on. Ron, this is where I wanted to have this story go.
Are you sure that's not a pizza?
That's a pizza box. That is definitely a pizza box. Let me ask you this, Ron.
It
Ron,
looks like Domino's.
Ron, this must be the greatest list ever of guys that you will never receive a Christmas card for. I feel like doing. You remember Johnny Carson, and he put the envelope up, and
Oh yeah, Karnak.
yeah, Karnak. Guys that Ron will never get a Christmas card from. Can you name the other 4 guys that are in the 40-40 club?
Jose.
Jose Canseco, never getting a Christmas card. Ron's not getting one from Jose Canseco. Go ahead.
I want to say it was Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds, second. Another one.
Yeah,
no way you're getting a Christmas card. No way.
I would probably send it back anyway.
But so I'm just saying, think about these guys.
A-Rod.
Alex Rodriguez, yes, is a third one. Yes, there's one more. You might. This guy you really haven't butchered too much, but I think he has been suspended for performance enhancing drugs as well. Alfonso Soriano.
Oh yeah, no.
So 4 guys.
Really?
So now the question becomes, Ron, is Acuna? Could you start to look at maybe possibility of him being in that boat? Think about the guys that are on that list. There's only been 5 guys that have done it now. He's in that group. You start to go. Do you think about it in the back of your mind? As well as he's played
until now,
right? Like it's crazy to think about. He's a talent. He's probably the best player in baseball right now. But you start to you put your name in that bucket, and now it's like, is it really that bad a big a deal? Because
who do you think are the top 4 players in baseball right now?
That's a tough call. Mookie Betts, I would probably put up there as one of them.
I would put
Acuna Jr. Yep. I would definitely put up there as one. Oof. I'm not quite sure.
Honey?
Yeah. Yes. Maybe because of the dual thing. Judge, maybe. Again,
it makes you wonder, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you turn the clock back, say 30 years, I don't think it would be
as difficult.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's listen, it's a different league now, much different league. But hey, it's a big accomplishment, 40-70. But I to you, the rule change helped.
Oh, it definitely helped.
And now the names that he's kind of acquainted with starts to put a little bit of doubt in your mind. So, I look. We'll see what these Braves teams does in the playoffs. That's going to be.
I don't think it changes the way I feel about the player right now. I think getting those 70 stolen bases is definitely because of the rule change.
Yeah. Oh, that definitely helps.
I don't think that happens. I don't even think it comes close. I don't think he gets 40.
Yeah.
Without the rule change.
It's kind of crazy. Ron, it is time for split decision.
The winner by split decision.
So our split decision segment basically is more likely, and we've got to make a decision on those more likely questions that we're going to ask each other. Ron, you are first. Start us off. Your first split decision.
Okay. Of these 2 teams, which team is more likely to make the wild card? Miami Marlins or Seattle Mariners? Ooh. Now, I will say Seattle is on the out by a game.
And
Miami is in by a game.
And I would probably go Miami because I think the team's above Seattle in the American League a little better than what is in the National League right now.
Yeah.
So I would my bet would be Miami.
Yeah, because the Cubs are trying to get in.
Yeah. And I'm like, the Cubs, they had a run there for a bit, but the Cubs. All right, that was a good one. I like that. Ron,
right?
My first split decision is more likely that the Boston Celtics trade for Drew Holiday or they win the Eastern Conference.
More likely they win the Eastern Conference.
Wow. No trade. So what they have, you think they can win the Eastern Conference?
I didn't say that.
More likely they win the East. Even
I
James
said
seems
more likely to win the East.
James agrees with you there. Okay.
Yeah. Because, well, first of
I don't
all,
think
because
they
I'm
go
looking
trade,
at
yeah.
Milwaukee, and, well, basically they all can get hurt. All of them. Middleton, Giannis, and Dame.
Yeah, but
I
so
mean, why not?
Drew's going to be they're moving him. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah,
and
they are moving
and
them.
there's been talk, Boston. I'm just
There's
saying.
been a lot of talk.
So I'm just saying. So, but you think they'd win the East and less
I
likely
think more
to trade?
likely that happens.
Okay, all
Because
right.
I still think he might end up in Miami now.
Okay, yeah, because they're a little,
A little
scorned lover.
scorned.
Yeah,
Yep.
scorned lover there. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, what do you got? Your second split decision. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was good. That was very good. All right. Who is more likely to get more points and assists in the upcoming season? Drew Holiday or Damian Lillard?
Points and assists.
Points and assists.
You know what? I think I'm going to do a first on split decision. I'm calling that a draw because I think Dame gets more points, but I think Drew gets more assists.
Yeah, but the total.
Oh, total all like
right. So if somebody gets
Dame
15
Lillard.
points and like 8 assists,
Dame.
so it's 23.
Dame.
Okay.
Dame. Because Dame can score 60 plus points a game. I mean, he's done it. So I think Dame can definitely get more.
Yeah, I agree with
Holiday.
James. I'd say Holiday.
Okay. I don't know.
I think he's going to have an upgraded season.
Drew's not going to score 30 points a game where Dame can. Easy.
Maybe.
I don't think Pollard will start enough games, though. Oh, Lillard. Pollard. I was like, hey, what's he, 2-way in it, Pollard? He's playing for the Bucks.
So
less pressure on the Patriots this week. I was going to say less pressure on the Patriots this week. Pollard's going to be starting point guard for the Bucks this week. I was so excited.
Wow. That's
all
pretty
right.
good.
My second split decision. More likely, the Boston Red Sox bounce back and make the playoffs next season, or the New York Yankees. I knew you would hate this one, and you have to pick one of them. I said, who's more likely to bounce back and make the playoffs next season, the Boston Red Sox or the New York Yankees?
I'm gonna have to say no. I don't think so. I think it's going to be the Yankees because I think the Red Sox had one of the highest payrolls, and they're still in that luxury tax. While the Yankees actually had a couple of seasons where they didn't have to go that higher luxury tax. So I think they're going to be able to spend more money than the Red Sox, and I think they will. And I think they're going to be better, and I think they're going to make the playoffs next year.
So the Yankees bounce back, the Red Sox don't make the playoffs.
No, because I think they're going to keep Cora. Somehow, some way, they'll keep him.
We know how much you love Cora.
And they'll still be a mess because he's terrible.
Yeah, no, it's
unless they cheat, then they can win the World Series.
Unless they cheat, luxury tax is a joke. Hey, baseball's a joke with those contracts. Believe it or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, I love this segment, man. I'm really starting to dig this segment.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's a fun one. It's a fun one. Ron, let's talk some NHL, my friend. I know we got a lot of hockey. The rest of the show is like all hockey. Yeah. But Andre Vasilevsky.
It's back. Hockey is back.
Yeah, it is back. Andre Vasilevsky will miss the first 2 months of the season.
Yeah, that's big.
Can the Lightning survive this loss?
I don't know, because you look at Detroit is going to be very improved, and and Buffalo is going to be improved. So there's two teams that are going to be trying to take away a couple of spots in that division, and I got to think that Toronto is going to be too strong.
And I'm going to ask. Okay, you ready?
Florida. Boston.
Hey, you're a hockey guy. You're a hockey guy. So I know you know your hockey. Here's their backups. Brian Elliott. The next four guys that I'm going to mention had 2 wins between all of them last season. Hugo Ainflet,
Yeah.
Evan Fitzpatrick, Jonas Johansson, and Matt Tompkins.
Yeah.
They've got no depth in goaltending.
No.
Brian Elliott was 12-8-2 with 2 shutouts, but a 3.40 goals against and an 8.91 save percentage last season versus Vasilevsky, who was 34-22-2, 4 shutouts, 2.65, and a 9.15 save percentage.
It'll be interesting because we're going to see if they give Boston a call. Because you look at that, Brian Elliott, he's going to be your guy for 2 months. That's kind of scary.
That could put you out of the playoffs.
And
as crazy as
the Bruins may deal away a goaltender, especially after Bussy's shutout performance. So that could free up one of the other goaltenders to be moved. I mean, I don't see them trading a goaltender to Tampa Bay, though.
Agreed.
I don't see that, but they could wow them.
Listen, this is a good test, right? Tampa Bay, a veteran team, has been there, right? 3 straight Stanley Cups, a couple years ago, right? Like, so they know how to win. But how do you lose one of those biggest key pieces,
right,
and overcome that? I think this may be the first time we start to really see some cracks in Tampa Bay because of this.
Yeah, think about this. Would the Bruins trade one of their 2 goaltenders?
More likely.
Would they trade a goaltender?
I can't say
Tampa Bay for Steven Stamkos.
But in the division, I don't. And what does Tampa gain from that?
Like
you're losing your top player.
Future,
but you're losing one of your all-time best players.
I'm just saying.
I don't see it happen. We're gonna have to tune in. NHL preview show coming up in the next few weeks. NBA preview show coming up in the next few weeks. So tune in for those as well. Great hockey talk. I love talking hockey with you, Ron. Even though I hack all the names. Ron, it is time for Pick and Roll.
It's time for Pick and Roll.
Episode 39. We always try to tie it in somehow, some way. 39 years ago, so 1985. All these athletes were candidates for the NHL Norris Trophy. And they were Paul Coffey, Mark Howe, Larry Robinson, Ray Bourque, and Rod Langway. We are going to rank them from 5 to 1 based on how we feel they were, and we got to roll with it. So we pick them and we roll with them. Ron, you are first this week. So your pick and roll.
All right. So this is the one that I basically did before I even looked at any numbers. I put them in the order I felt, and this came out exactly the way I put them down.
Okay.
Number 5 is easy, and if you got this wrong, Eric, I'd be surprised at that. Rod Langway. Look, he's a good.
What?
He's a good defensive player.
What?
He's got 2 Norris trophies. 51 career goals, 278 assists. He's a plus 276 for his career, which is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
9 game-winning goals as a defenseman now, 1 Stanley Cup, 3 All-Stars. The offensive numbers aren't going to wow you, but this guy was a good defensive player.
Yeah.
And he
plus
won a couple of Norris on that.
Yeah, to your point, plus 276. You're pretty good.
Right. Number 4, I thought this was pretty easy as well. Mark Howe.
Who?
Gordy's son.
Who?
Mark Howe.
What?
Where?
When?
197 goals, 545 assists. 400 was his plus minus. Fantastic.
That's great, right?
Look, those guys aren't, offensive juggernauts, right? But he chipped in his few. He got 23 game-winning goals, 3 All-Stars. He did, however, capture 2 WHA championships.
Yes. Yeah.
That.
Yeah. And that's before
Well-
WWE was right. It was okay.
So Mark Waller had number 4.
No hockey jokes here.
Then
The puck stops here, my friend.
then we come to the perennial All-Stars and and lots of awards and stuff. So I put Paul Coffey number 3, and I know his plus minus was 298. Wasn't exactly a great defensive player,
Sounds
but those
personal.
offensive numbers, and when you're on a team with Gretzky, Messier, Curry, and Anderson, and all these other guys, you're going to be a plus. You're going to be a plus. But 396 career goals, 1,135 assists for 1,500 plus points, 4 Stanley Cups, 8 All-Stars, and 3 Norris trophies. And that was the thing about Mark Howe. He didn't have a Norris Trophy win, but I still felt he was better than Langway. So Paul Coffey had put it number 3, and I know a lot of people love those offensive numbers that he had, but
Okay.
still wasn't
It's
enough.
your list. You roll with it, bro.
Yeah. So number 2, I have Larry Robinson. Look, he's one of those Montreal Canadiens that I actually respected. He was a great player. 208 career goals, 750 assists for 958 points in his 1,300 plus games. He was a plus 722. A plus
That's insane.
722.
Man,
Just
that's
saying
crazy.
it sounds like I might have chosen the wrong guy, right? 6 Stanley Cups, 6 All-Stars, and 2 Norris trophies. Also won a Conn Smythe for playoff MVP. This guy was fantastic. But number 1, Ray Bourque. If the Bruins ever cared about winning a championship, back then, they certainly didn't give him a lot of help. There was one year they gave him help, but for the most part, he was the man alone.
I wanted to. So I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I did want to. I just decided. Let me Google this real quick. Plus minus in NHL history. Number 1, Larry Robinson at 722.
Yeah.
Do you want to know who's number 2?
Wayne?
Believe it or not, Bobby Orr,
Oh,
582.
Bobby Orr, yeah. Okay.
You know who's 3rd?
Who?
Ray Bourque.
Is he really?
Yes. Wayne Gretzky was 4th.
Yeah. Well, this
That's
just goes to
insane.
show you, Eric.
Yeah,
Like
722.
that discussion about
Yeah.
Espo and Orr. I mean, that
Yeah.
like
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
it is.
Kind of crazy.
So Ray Bourque had 410 goals, more than Paul Coffey. I did not know that.
Mhm.
Did not know that. 1,169 assists.
But he also played in
Paul
200
Coffey.
more games.
Yes, he did. He
200
did.
more games.
Yes.
Okay.
But still doesn't change the fact that he did have, a great career. He was, I have him number 2 as defenseman of all time.
Okay. I'm not. Listen.
So
Your list.
60 game-winning goals. So
Hold on,
he
say it
was
again. I didn't hear.
60.
60. Okay.
1 Stanley Cup with Colorado.
1 cup, my friend.
With Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Harry Sinden, for doing that.
No. Too soon? Still too early?
It's still too soon, yes.
Okay.
Still a fresh wound. 5 Norris trophies. Okay, 5 Norris trophies. This guy was amazing. Amazing. 19 All-Stars.
Kind of crazy.
If you add up the other 4 guys, All-Stars, there's 20.
Yeah, but you don't count All-Stars, so we don't count All-Stars. Go ahead.
No, but,
Okay. All right.
So Ray Bourque, to me, far and away the best defenseman
All right.
on that list.
All
far
right.
and away.
All
It's
right.
not even close.
So that's your list. You roll with it, my friend. I'm gonna go in a completely opposite direction.
Yeah,
I
I
went
know
Ray.
you do.
I went Ray Bourque at 5 because of the 1 cup.
Oh.
So I just wanted to see your face when I
Are you
said it.
kidding me?
I wanted to see your face when I said it. Absolutely not. Langway at 5. Langway at 5. I agree.
I was about to just leave the show. I was going to leave.
I wanted to see your face. Langway at 5. I agree with you. 51 goals. Listen, I mean, good solid numbers, but plus 276. Very good.
A great defenseman.
Yeah. I went
nothing on the offense.
I went Mark Howe again at 4. I agree with you there.
Yeah.
So we were, copacetic there.
Yeah, and like these top 3, Eric, you can put them any way you want.
Yeah, I went Robinson at 3, and I know what you said. I just look at those offensive numbers that Coffey had, and they were about the same amount of games. So Larry Robinson played in 1,384 games. Paul Coffey played in 1,409. So it was like 30, maybe 30 games more. Right. And you know what I mean? 400 more assists. Yep. Almost 200 more goals in 600, almost 600 points. Difference. So I went Coffey at 2. You're right. Ray Brock, though, 19 All-Stars. 5 Norris. Again, the 1 cup is the only part of it that you sit back and go, I wish he had more, because Paul Coffey 4 cups, Larry Robinson 6 cups, right? No, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like when you start to rank them, you go,
that's the knock.
Championships, right? It's always like that. Oh, and such a shame. But hey, we move on, my friend. That's what happens. That's the sports
and like I said, those 3 guys, if you put them in any order, I can understand it, because you look at Stanley Cups, you look at plus minus, you look at what they mean to the team. There's a lot of factors in there, and outside of that Stanley Cup, there is no knock on Ray Brock.
Yeah, agreed. It was just the cups. It's the cups that sometimes you say, "Oh, maybe not." Hey, and it's probably one of our favorite segments now, with everybody participating. It's prediction time. And fun week last week. It kind of got a little dicey. We tied again, Ron, because you got the Pats. You took the Pats, but you went that Colorado route.
I know.
And I
knew it when I said it too.
You were a little scared
because Hunter was out or whatever. Whoever it was.
We'll bring those stats up real quick. And James was our 3-4 tie as well. Kenny came 5-2 last week.
Yeah,
we make fun of him for always picking against us. Look at how smart was he?
Yeah.
How smart was he? So again, if you are watching us live and like to join in, please make sure you just tell us who you're picking as we call these games, and we will add you to our list, our prediction chart, updated every Friday. And we'll see who wins at the end of the season here. And the interesting part will be,
I thought he actually was saying was a big lacrosse.
No, lacrosse. It does a big lacrosse, the board. And then Kenny, that's what I do. Kenny, stop.
That's what you do.
That's what he does.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, look, he's 56%.
I know he's doing well. I'm just saying. Come on, man. There was stretches there where we were starting to doubt him. All right. Let's start this off. You are first this week on your picks. I will follow. 9:29, my friend. We've got the Houston Astros at the Arizona Diamondbacks. This is a 3-game set. This is the end of the season. The year's over for baseball. We're going to be talking playoff baseball next. Playoffs. Who do you got?
I'm taking the Astros. They have to do it now, so I'm going to go with them. They're just barely in right now, so I'm going Astros.
I also went Astros. I think, to your point, look, they need to win. They need this. They need to sweep.
Yeah,
they need a sweep here. Kenny, who do you got? Because it's what you do.
He's gonna go Diamondbacks. Watch.
Yeah, of course
I knew it.
You only get a squirrel only finds a nut so many times, Kenny, and after that. So I don't know, whatever, bro. All right, 9:29. We got the New York Liberty at the Connecticut Sun. This is game 3. This series is tied 1-1. We got this wrong last week. We went the oppo. I'm sticking with Liberty. I think they kind of had, they slowed up a little bit and they decided, all right, and now they're going to play some ball.
Yeah, no,
They won
I'm
game
going
2.
Liberty as well. Look, I predicted them to win it all, so I am going Liberty, and I'm sticking with my guns
James
and
and
not go
Kenny
the
both
Suns.
went the Sun. Both went the Sun. Let's see which one of us gets it right. Which duo gets it right this week? NFL action, my friend, on October 1st. Believe it or not, we're in October. Is that not insane to think about? Where's the year gone, Ron? Where is it gone?
I don't know.
October 1st, Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills. This is a big matchup. This is one of the biggest matchups so far to start the season.
Yeah, look, I feel Miami just had a huge win, right? And
Massive.
we all see it over and over when you have this big game and big moments in a game, and then the next week comes out flat. I'm going the Bills because Josh Allen needs this. Because he's going to be left off out of the conversation if he doesn't win this one.
MVP. James went Dolphins here in a close one, and I think you're right. The hype might not be real. 70 points. I think it was a bad Denver defense.
Yep.
And I think that Buffalo is second overall defensively.
How many points did they score on New England?
24. Right. So again, I think
you Buffalo. Look at that.
Yeah, I think Buffalo. Kenny's going Buffalo. I think Buffalo wins this game because I think they have a very good defense that can stay with.
They have a better offense than the Patriots, so
and a better defense. And a better defense. Yep. All right. We also got on October 1st, the Baltimore Ravens at the Cleveland Browns. I was struggling with this one, my friend, and I am still not sure I picked the right team. And Cleveland's defense, very, very good. But I still don't trust the offense. So I went the Ravens here. But, I mean, this is going to be a squeaker. I don't think this is going to be a
squeaker.
And we had a better offense.
Yeah, I went the other way.
James.
I went the other way, and I feel that Cleveland's going to win it because of being home field.
Okay. All right. I think the Ravens can travel well. That division's going to be a tight one. Kenny, who do you got?
Match.
Baltimore at Cleveland. James went the Browns. Ron went the Browns.
I know there's more than 2 people watching, so I would love somebody else to chime in there. Come on. I know
Kenny fell asleep. Kenny, the bottle finally got to Kenny. I think he passed out. There we go, Kenny. There we go, buddy.
He had to go get his coin.
Listen, count in between the sips, buddy. Yeah, flip it. Count in between the sips, Kenny. Sometimes you get a little longer before you pass out, okay? All right, we got this. Also, October 1st, the New England Patriots at the Dallas Cowboys. Who do you got, Ron?
I went Cowboys.
What?
I went Cowboys because that's what I predicted in the preseason.
I can't with you.
In the preview show.
So if they were 2-1 right now, what would you say? Oh, boys by 14. Here we go. We knew James.
I wouldn't quite say that.
If James went any other way, I think I would have just dropped.
It's going to be 1 score.
I went Dallas here as well. I think Dallas just has a little more talent defensively where they're gonna create some havoc. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, Dak Prescott, Mac Jones, I think that's a wash offensively.
No, I'm talking about
defensively.
Micah Parsons versus that offensive line.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would take Parsons over Judon any day of the week.
I would take Parsons over all of those 5 guys at the line.
Kenny, did he count? Kenny didn't count to 30. You see? This is where we're at with Kenny. Kenny, who do you got? He's going to go home. If Kenny says Pats, get him off the bottles. I told you. Come on, Kenny. Kenny.
He's going Pats.
Somebody's got to believe it. Somebody believes in him. It's got to be Kenny. Kenny believes in the Pats.
Yeah, he does. He won't bet it. He won't.
He just he's so ashamed to type it. Is where we're at right now. We might have lost Kenny. Maybe he did pass out. All right. We're going to talk some college football.
Is there a delay?
9:30. So September 30th tomorrow. You got the number 11 Notre Dame Fighting Irish at the. Kenny went. We knew Kenny was going bats. We knew that. Number 11 Notre Dame Fighting Irish at number 17 Duke Blue Devils.
Oh, I'm going Notre Dame. That loss was just awful. And I got a feeling that the team is not going to be very happy coming into this one, and they're going to take it out on Duke.
Yeah. James went Notre Dame as well. Yeah, I agree with you. Listen, a bad loss. They really shouldn't have lost that game. They did. And I think they make up for it. And do we really know how good Duke is? How many times has Duke been in the top 25? So they'd have to prove something first. So I went Notre Dame as well.
Basketball a lot.
Yeah. You know, if this was a basketball, it'd be a different story. Yeah.
Right.
Kenny?
Maybe they'll roll out a basketball at the beginning of the game.
And then all of a sudden you say, Duke, just tear it up. Kenny went fighting Irish. Look at Kenny. All right. He don't like Duke. That's why. All right. Hey, Ron, NHL preseason game, buddy. You got the Boston Bruins at the Philadelphia Flyers.
Why?
Because we need stuff. It's called content.
Isn't there a race or something? There's a fight.
I got the fight on there.
I know. I'm just
all
saying.
Right. I went Philadelphia here.
Oh, come on.
Yep. Went the Flyers.
Philadelphia's terrible.
At home. Boston's
Terrible.
not going to play anybody. I went. So you went Boston?
What do you mean they're not going to play anybody? Yeah, this team, I'm telling you, watch out for this team.
Okay. So you're going Boston.
I'm going Boston.
All right. I had another NFL game instead. Yeah. All NFL next week. That's all we're picking.
Well, I mean, we could have done,
Raiders,
Chargers.
Boston. James went Boston. We know where Kenny's going Boston. Go, Kenny. Come on.
This is a no-brainer, to be honest.
No-brainer. This is my sleeper.
Good on the Flyers.
This is my sleeper pick. Kenny went Philly with me. All right, Kenny.
Good. I'll gain on both of you there.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Thank you. Easy.
Tomorrow night, Ron, you talk big fight. Canelo Alvarez versus Jamel.
I'll be watching.
Charlo. A super middleweight title on the line.
Super middleweight.
Who do you got?
I'm going Canelo. That's.
I went Canelo as well. I don't think.
Yep. Oh, high school football game tickets. There we go.
Tickets. There you go. World Sports. Somebody wants tickets to the NHL game. There you go.
See, high school football. If you film the games, maybe we'll air it on Rhode Island Broadcasting.
James went Canelo.
Yep, James went Canelo. So yeah, I would love to air some high school football games on the network.
Oh, there we go again. He's on there now.
Hey, this is good for us.
High school football. Kenny, who do you got? Kenny, what is Kenny doing? He's got one job right now. Cannoli.
So he's going to have a cannoli while the game is on the fights are on.
Kenny likes good cannoli every so often. Who doesn't like a good cannoli? All right. Hey.
I don't know. Maybe high school football does.
High school football. Put another one up, high school football. Ron, what a great show we've had. And before we go into our final thoughts, can you tell all the wonderful people out there how they can support our show and also sponsor our show?
Why, I sure can, Eric. That's my broadcasting.
That was amazing.
Isn't it awesome? Sure. Now, Eric,
the voice for radio, my friend.
Yes, it is so easy. All you have to do is send us an email to that right down here, ribroadcasting.media@gmail.com. We can send you out all the information that you want, but it's very simple. It's just like going to the Green on Main here. Yeah, that's where I am, the Green on Main, and getting a steak and cheese sandwich.
Oh, look at that.
Look, you can come down, get a steak and cheese, but it costs the same thing, if not less than that.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. And donate stars bits.
Yes, please.
Continue to do that. I would also say please share our show. And then follow us on all our social media platforms. If you're not already on, we are on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. I mean, we're on everything. Every day is high school football. Keep it going. And I will say that, again, we are on every MeWe, Threads, you name it, we're on it. So Sports Unfolded continues to grow. We post all the shows on all these social media platforms as well. So if you miss it, you can watch it on any given platform. We are also on, if you don't have time to watch, you can listen as well. So we are on all of those as well. Spotify, you know what I mean? Amazon, we are on everything.
Yeah, so if you're like at school, don't listen during the classes, but
High school football,
when you're at lunch, listen to the show.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. Ron, it is time for final thoughts. And our final thoughts don't necessarily have to be about anything sports related. It could be about anything going on in the world today. You are first, my friend, so grace us with your final thought.
Yeah, it's like I was trying to debate what I wanted to do. Do I want to blast somebody? Do I want to do any of that kind of stuff, right? So I decided I'm going to keep it light.
Wow.
I'm going to keep it light. And, with the preseason going on for the NHL, I'm glad to see that the NHL is back and looking forward to all these teams taking another run at the Cup because there's nothing better than the Stanley Cup playoffs, except for last year. Still fresh. But I just want to say, these are the players that get cut from Boston. And to be honest with you, none of them are a surprise so far. Joey Abate, Vincent Arsenault, Justin Brazeau, Curtis Hall, Owen Peterson, Luke Toporowski, Ethan Ritchie, and goalie Shane Starrett. It is totally expected that those guys weren't going to vie for the team. But I'll tell you, Eric, Beecher Poitras, or however you say his name, I have to figure that one out, and Merkulov, those are guys that we could be listening to being in that lineup, and Oscar Steen, another one. So, and I think they're going to be okay.
All right. I enjoy. Hey, NHL preseason is here.
Yes.
So last week, my final thought, I really went on a little bit of a rant, just based on the fact that I was a little upset, and I wanted to reverse that this week, and I wanted to commend Colorado's two-way star Travis Hunter. He obviously had that devastating late hit from the Colorado State defensive back Henry Blackburn.
Yep.
Instead of holding a grudge or taking it personal, they actually met. They went bowling together. There's a video posted on Hunter's YouTube channel saying that, look, he understands it happens, things happen, got caught in the moment, and we move on and move past it, because at the end of the day, it's we talked about life or death. Listen, what a great way as a young kid to show people that, look, even though you're going to miss a couple games, probably hurts your Heisman chances altogether.
Right.
You were the bigger person to say, look, you know what? It's not that big a deal, man.
But you know what he just did? You know what he did by that? He moved up spots in the draft.
Yeah.
That's what he did. Because there's character, right?
That's character, without a doubt.
That's a guy that I want on my team.
So I just wanted to commend him for I wanted to commend him for that, because I said, you know what, we talk about all those negative people. Right. What a positive story coming out of that situation last week. So thank you, Travis Hunter, for what you did there. I want to thank all the fans out there that have watched us live, that have chimed in tonight. You guys are always amazing. James, by far, you are one of my favorites now. You got to make sure next week we might get to see James on the show. And then Kenny, as usual, our big dog, doing his thing as usual. High school football, thanks for joining and giving us a little plug here.
Yeah, maybe I'll get Kenny to come on the Entertainment Flash show tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go. Make that happen. Rhode Island Broadcasting, so many great shows. Check them out. Thank you, James, once again. All the fans out there, if you're watching us afterwards, make sure you share, comment, tell us how we're doing. Continue to help us grow. Ron, as always, man, what a great show. Thank you for taking your time tonight. And all we ever ask for is peace on earth.
Absolutely. Have a great night, everybody.